He was just finishing his work for the day, signing the last patient's papers, when a sudden wave of terrible screams shattered the quiet. Heavy footsteps thundered down the hallway as people ran in panic. He stepped out of the doctor's resting room and froze. Right there, in the middle of the hospital's main waiting area, stood a massive adult tiger. At first, his mind struggled to understand what he was seeing. But as his vision cleared, he noticed something even more shocking. This was no ordinary tiger. She was completely white, rare, powerful, almost unreal in her beauty. And gently held between her large, dangerous teeth was a tiny white cub. The hospital erupted into chaos. Patients scattered in every direction. Visitors screamed and rushed into the medicine shop, locking themselves inside. An elderly woman collapsed near the front desk. Yet through all the madness, the tiger did not move. She stood perfectly still. Her golden eyes followed the frightened crowd, but there was no rage in them. No hunting instinct. Her body language, her ears, her shoulders, showed something completely different. She was not there to attack. She was waiting. Less than 2 minutes later, armed police officers burst through the glass doors, guns raised and ready. The situation was seconds away from turning deadly. The lead officer aimed directly at the tiger's chest. "Don't shoot. Stop," the doctor shouted, running forward and raising his hands. Before becoming a doctor, he had spent 3 years in South Africa working closely with wild big cats. He knew their behavior. He understood their signals. If she wanted to hurt anyone, he said urgently, someone would already be dead. "Look at her. She's holding her baby. She's not hunting. She's asking for help." The officer hesitated, clearly unconvinced, but signaled his team to lower their weapons slightly. "If that animal makes one sudden move, we shoot," he warned. "I understand," the doctor replied. Then he turned back to the tiger. Slowly, carefully, step by step, he walked toward her. His hands remained open, his movements calm. His heart pounded loudly in his chest, but he did not stop. When he was only a few feet away, the tiger locked eyes with him. Then something incredible happened. Very gently, she lowered her head. She placed her tiny cub on the cold hospital floor. And then, as she stepped back, 3 slow steps. It was trust. It was a silent plea. The doctor felt his chest tighten with emotion. This was not a predator. This was a mother begging for help. He quickly bent down and picked up the cub. It was in terrible condition. Barely 2 weeks old, the small body was weak and fragile. The cub struggled to breathe, gasping in short, painful bursts. Its body burned with fever. When he checked its skin, it stayed lifted, clear evidence of severe dehydration. The cub was dying. As he lifted it, the mother's muscles tensed. A low, deep sound rumbled from her throat, but she did not attack. It wasn't anger. It was fear. "Emergency room now," he shouted. "Get the children's doctors. Bring the smallest needles and 4 fluids." A nurse and another doctor rushed forward, overcoming their fear. They moved quickly toward the emergency room, and the tiger followed them. She ignored the police completely. Inside the room, they had to act fast. A human hospital wasn't built for animals, especially not wild ones. They grabbed the smallest medical equipment available from the children's ward. Under the bright lights, the cub looked even worse. Its ribs pressed sharply against its thin white skin. Around its belly was a terrible infected wound, swollen and foul-smelling. Outside the glass doors, the mother tiger paced anxiously. Every time the cub cried weakly, she responded with a deep, worried sound. Inside, the team worked with urgency, administering fluids, treating infection, fighting to keep the tiny body alive. From time to time, the doctor stepped close to the glass, speaking softly to the mother, calming her like he once did with injured lions years ago. And somehow, she understood. While the life-saving effort continued inside the hospital, a police detective began investigating. He reviewed street camera footage, tracking where the mysterious white tiger had come from. Within 2 hours, he found the answer. The tiger had emerged from an abandoned factory area at the far edge of the city. Animal control and police units were dispatched immediately. Before entering, they sent a drone over the property. What it revealed was horrifying. Inside the compound were rows of rusty shipping containers baking under the sun. Heat sensors showed movement inside, living creatures trapped. It was an illegal wildlife trafficking operation, a secret prison for animals. A heavily armed police team prepared for a raid, and the doctor was asked to join them to help the animals. When they stormed the compound, chaos erupted. The criminals rushed for weapons, but they were quickly overpowered. One of the leaders made a desperate move. He tried to reach a control panel to release all the animals at once, hoping the chaos would help him escape. But just before he could reach it, a black panther slammed violently against the bars near his face, stopping him cold. That moment gave officers enough time to capture him. Inside the facility, the suffering was unimaginable. A young white lion lay motionless, too weak to move. A snow leopard was trapped in a cage so small she couldn't turn around, protecting her crying cub. A monkey and a red panda struggled to breathe in the unbearable heat. The doctor immediately began organizing treatment with arriving animal specialists. Water was given, wounds were treated, sedatives were carefully used to calm the animals. During interrogation, one of the younger criminals broke down and confessed. The white tiger had been captured while pregnant. After giving birth, she was starved. Her milk dried up. Her cub began to die. The criminals, hoping to profit from the rare white cub, injected it with cheap, expired farm medicine, causing the infection now threatening its life. Driven by desperation, the mother tiger broke free from her cage during the night. She carried her dying cub, forced her way through a narrow pipe, and walked into an unfamiliar human city, searching for help. Back at the hospital, after hours of intense effort, the cub finally stabilized. It was weak, but alive. In the weeks that followed, all the rescued animals were carefully treated and rehabilitated. The criminals were arrested and faced severe punishment. The animals were relocated to protected reserves around the world, vast lands where they could heal and live freely. 3 months later, the doctor took time off and traveled to visit one of those reserves. There, in a massive natural forest with a flowing river, lived the white tiger and her cub. From a safe viewing point, he saw them. The cub was no longer weak. It was strong, playful, full of life, its white fur glowing in the sunlight. The mother rested peacefully nearby. Then, as the wind shifted, she lifted her head. Their eyes met. She recognized him. Slowly, she walked toward the edge of the water separating them and made a deep, gentle sound. Not a growl, a greeting, a memory, a thank you. The reserve managers later explained that the tiger and her cub would not be sold or bred. Instead, they would be part of a special program, to be released back into the wild, where they truly belonged. Watching the cub play freely, the doctor finally understood something powerful. That mother tiger had done the impossible. Her love had been stronger than fear, stronger than pain, stronger than captivity. And because of that love, her baby would grow up wild, free, and alive.